He could be rather rude, brusque, short-tempered, and even foul-mouthed at times, but, and possibly because of these character traits, in addition to his honesty, integrity, and humor, Charlie Mungers, the billionaire vice-chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, was one of the most liked American businessmen of the last century. There is one particularly cheeky quote of Charlie's that has become increasingly popular fodder among the influencer community, even though it may no longer hold true. But we'll get to that later. The quote in question is,
"The first 100,000 is a batch, but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit."
Of course, Charlie didn't say batch. He said something that sounds like batch, but that wasn't batch. But we'll gloss over that on here. The question I have is, does this quote still stand true? The reality is that the first record of Charlie making this statement was way back in the mid-1980s. And we're all aware that inflation has surged since then. In fact, when we adjust $100,000 from 1984 to 2024, the actual amount is $304,000, which is a lot more difficult to save than $100,000, but hopefully not impossible for someone who is motivated to be rich. The second important point in Charlie's quote is that he thinks it acceptable to ease off after you've passed the $100,000 mark. You may wonder why that is, why you shouldn't keep pushing yourself hard until you get to the $1 million mark. Well, this is due to our old friend, compound arithmetic. After you've passed the $100,000 mark, your fund starts to generate a gravity all of its own, and it will continue to grow even if you taper off the amount you commit to it. Let's assume that you are able to save $10,000 per year, and that you are able to invest that capital at a 10% rate of return, which, even with a tracker fund, should reasonably be possible over the long term. We can easily calculate how long it takes to get to $100,000. Saving $10,000 a year at a 10% return means you reach $100,000 after 6 years and 10 months, which is a fair bit of time, but not exactly donkey's years. So, we're now at the point that Charlie says we can ease off a little. The compound arithmetic has now started to kick in, and to get from $100,000 to $200,000 only takes an additional 5 years. That's 1 year and 10 months quicker than it took us to get from $0 to $100,000. And what about the path to $500,000? Assuming you're still saving $10,000 a year at a 10% return, you'll get to $500,000 after 17 years and 11 months. That means, in a little more than 2.5 times the duration it took to get from $0 to $100,000, you're now at $500,000. What about the magic million? From a standing start, you'll get there after 24 years and 3 months. That's only 6.5 years from $500,000 to $1 million, about the same time it took to generate the first $100,000. Interestingly, it only takes 12 months to get from $900,000 to $1 million. That's compared to the 6 years and 10 months it took to generate the first $100,000. All it takes is regular saving and investing in safe, low-risk opportunities. Of course, due to inflation, $1 million today is only the equivalent of about $300,000 when Charlie first made this statement in the 1980s. To get to $3 million, which is what Charlie envisaged, would take an extra 11 years at 35 years and 1 month. If we go back to Charlie's original quote, the edict is to do whatever it takes to build the initial fund. If we assume, instead of saving $10,000 a year, we are actually able to save $20,000 a year, still invested at 10%, we can see how the time to reach $1 million is reduced. The time to $100,000 is now only 3 years and 11 months. To get to $200,000 takes 6 years and 10 months, or basically the same time it took to get to $100,000 before. And to achieve the $500,000 mark takes a total of 12 years and 5 months. We now reach $1 million after 17 years and 11 months, and Charlie's $3 million mark comes after 28 years and 2 months, a time saving of 7 years. So there you have it. The first $100,000 is a batch, but after that, it gets progressively easier and easier to the point where you'll be making an extra $100,000 each and every month. I hope you found this video useful and that you'll join me for more of the same next time. Thank you for watching.